Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings of Maryland and Democratic pollster Margie Amur. Congressman Cummings, you know, I got to this topic this morning when I got up because I remembered that the greatest registrar of voters of African Americans in Philadelphia history, where I grew up, was the existence of Frank Rizzo, the tough police commissioner up there, who was seen as, too darn tough on black people. He had the nightstick in his cummerbund and all that, and he had the big military hardware he brought in, the tanks and everything.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
Remember that? And that got black people to register in higher percentage than white people. So I'm open to the idea that this fall, with all the horror that's going on with it, and recognized today and marked today by the sad funeral, that there might be a side effect. Your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, let me express my sympathy to the Brown family and the Ferguson community. But I think you're absolutely right, Chris. People, first of all, Ferguson, Missouri, we have Fergusons, by the way, all over the country. And a lot of pent-up frustrations on the part of African-American people and Hispanics with regard to the kind of incident that we just saw happen in Ferguson. And what happens is I think these kind of incidents become more or less a wake-up call. I've often said that in time, a moment will happen that can then be turned into a movement. And I think you're going to see a surge in not only voter registration, but voter participation, because people realize that it's one thing to be upset and to be angry and frustrated. It's another thing to harness that energy and make change happen. And so I believe that that's what's going to happen here.
You know, Margie, we've gone over this map so many times, you and other experts. You've seen how the minority community, which can be so strong in big cities, has a tremendous impact statewide in these elections, because although you can only elect your own congressperson, you can have a tremendous impact on Senate races, on gubernatorial races, on the Electoral College for president. So if a member of Congress from a minority community wants to get the people outraged, they are outraged, get them voting, it seems to me this would be a weapon to do that with.
Well, sure. I mean, there are states in, whether it's Georgia, the Georgia Senate race, or Louisiana, or Arkansas, or North Carolina, where a boost in minority turnout could impact the election. It's not always, I mean, I think, though, there's a common myth that lower turnout among minorities or younger voters or women is what boosts or lifts up Democratic prospects. That's not actually true. In 2006, the percentage of the electorate that was African American was basically identical to the percent in 2010. Yet you had completely different results in those midterm elections. So, so I think it's incumbent among Democrats and among voters to really to turn out across the board. And Democrats need to reach out to voters across the board.